Yeah, so could be a waste of 200 minerals, especially if I'm not going to do anything with it, but also could be an effective scout. That Phoenix sort of standing out there, not doing too much. My opponent moving his army out. I don't know if I see this yet. No, I have no idea, but I do have the 2 zealots on this center area, so I am going to know when he starts to step out. Just getting some poor performance in general, so maybe I should turn down some effects or something. Very strange getting this back performance on my computer. Yeah, so, well, let him go. Okay, so, yeah. My opponent marching forward with those stalkers, nice and fast. He's got 4 or 5 sentries, which I love. Gotta love those sentries. They're really good at blocking off the ground army. However, of course, the sentries, and of course, they're light units, so they tend to sort of take lots of damage. They just actually soak damage from the Void Rays, which is really quite useful, especially like when you're trying to shoot down the Void Rays with the stalkers that do so much damage, you know. So this is a really nice sort of comparative. Alright, opponent getting close force fields, trying to stop me from getting off shots, but force fields aren't terribly well placed, so stalkers still getting more shots. There's a couple of them back there. We got these zealots here. Zealots are starting to push forward, but the force fields are actually blocking them off. My Void Rays focusing down the stalkers, getting shot down when they start focusing on the sentries, which is problematic for them. I do have more stalkers at this point, so that Colossus realizes the battle is lost, runs away. And my Void Ray giving chase. Unfortunately, his Flux Bane's not that fast, so he's probably not even going to see that Colossus, which is just running away as fast as its little legs can carry it. And by its little legs, I mean its incredibly long legs. Okay, so yeah, my opponent gonna fall back, try and take a nice advantageous position. I'm gonna see if I can sort of do some damage to this Expo, which I'm pretty certain he has. I've probably scheduled it on the server if nothing else. Sending the stalkers up the front with the Void Ray up the back. Not very well coordinated. Taking a free shot at the zealot, killing it instantly. Oh, it's a sentry, actually. But, yeah, killing that sentry and then just running away, feeling like, yeah, not such a good deal. My opponent blocking off the ramp with a force field. I think he feels a little more pressured than he should be. He actually has more stalkers than me. That Void Ray is not going to help all that much against the stalkers. And I don't have any sort of... if I had been using this warp prism, I actually could have warped in reinforcements, but as it is, I'm just going to take my free sentry kill and fall back, start taking another Expo, because we have traded armies at this point, and I have made him feel a little bit pressured, so he's probably going to be sticking inside his base even more. And that's really good for me, so yeah. Okay, 2 gates, ready to start pushing out things again. I know my opponent's still got that Stalker-heavy Colossus mix. I am keeping a sort of mild eye on him with this Observer here. I know he's going for Blink. You know, just, and I know those, I know that robotics facility is still cranking, so I'm actually getting an Immortal Void Ray mix, which is just really quite nice against those stalkers, and as long as I don't see too many sentries or zealots, like, that should be a very effective army against my opponent, who is going for a fairly standard build, you know, zealots, stalkers, colossus, like a few sentries mixed in. This is the Protoss ball, and it's very useful in almost all situations. Protoss do have excellent third-tier units, but a lot of times Protoss can just win off of this Protoss ball, so there's usually not all that many reasons for them to try and get off of it. And man, that's a nice and intimidating looking ball right there. I have my Void Rays over here for some reason. They're probably going to stay there for quite a while, actually. In fact, yeah, I think my Stargates have got a rally point. Nope, no, the Void Rays are just sort of sitting there. I think they were going to maybe make a move out here, and then I decided, no, better to sort of stay in and see what's going on. Yeah, so now, got another nice push force coming out, so I do know my opponent's coming in. Gonna start trying to set up some cannons here. A little bit late on those cannons. They're probably not going to come in at any point. Yeah. Doesn't really bother focusing them down, but I think they're going to go down anyways. Void Rays coming in from the side, though, kind of unexpected. Nothing there. Those Immortals trying to shoot out as many stalkers as they can, doing an excellent job with that. Void Rays focusing down, doing some really nice damage. Bottom getting a charge up, that's going to make them quite a bit more effective. Yep, there you go. Down with the stalker, down with the stalker, down with the sentry. Let the sentry do a little damage. And just chase those Colossus. Chase those Colossus all the way down. Flux Veins, still making those Void Rays quite a bit faster. Oh, Blink Stalkers coming in. These are probably going to be the death of those Void Rays. Yep. As you can see, I'm at 1-1-1 for upgrades. I got a forge and put shields up, so that's making my air units quite effective. I don't think I have any ground upgrades apart from the Protoss plasma shields, which are a pretty effective upgrade, often ignored, especially when you're going for a ground-to-air mix, so that works pretty well for me. Again, with this standard Protoss ball, I have some carriers out now, and looks like I'm pumping a few more out of my double skates. I actually have 2 robos as well, which I was using for those immortals earlier, so always quite fun. My opponent had 3 cannons sort of right here in a row. This isn't really the greatest placement of the cannons as far as I'm concerned. Like, it does protect that pylon, but at the same time it doesn't really keep the Void Rays from coming in and taking this assimilator or this assimilator or the entire Nexus, really, if they want it. My opponent's got 5 gates up, and I'm asking for a pause. I have to say goodbye to my sister. We sold her into slavery today. No, but yeah, my opponent does, in fact, go ahead and pause, and we have a little conversation here. I believe basically what he says is that he's really pleased that this is such an even game, and, you know, that's very nice of him. It's really good to have, like, a sort of polite player. Just always nice to be playing with people who, you know, aren't complete jerks and don't act like assholes when things happen that are bad or even remotely unpredictable. Okay, so yeah, well, we've got these immortals, one of them standing out front, very nice, like he's sort of the leader for these cannons. I would push him back just a little more, I would pay more attention, but my carriers in good positions, my stalkers sort of bringing up this side a little toy. 4 stalkers coming up the front. Stalker's pretty good against the Colossus when they're out of place like that, so catching him out of place, always good. Let's do a funny trick. Okay, let's stop doing the funny trick. Carriers, once again, coming forward, but my mothership gets there just in time, and I vortex, and yeah. Oops. So, just, I know about this pylon, which was why I was pushing forwards, but my carriers got a little too close to that vortex. You know, people don't practice with motherships really all that much, I guess, because, yeah. Okay, so, but in any case, the mothership does come out, and he's doing just fine against those stalkers all by himself, even though I'm trying to focus him down. Those shields, keeping it very well alive. Clearly I've sort of won this particular round, and at this point I really want to make some sort of push, try and stop him from getting anything. I know he snuck this base here. I don't know when I scouted it, but I did scout it, so just going to turn around and go right over there and stop him from getting his 3rd base, which is going to be really good for me because I do have this nice economic advantage from my expansion. Okay, so this is of course even more exposed than this, so basically the only reason that we're trying to do this is because I think I'm not going to see it, but I did see it, so that's one of the things about sneaking bases. They're much more difficult to defend. Obviously quite worth it if you don't think your opponent's scouting well enough, or if you think you're going to pressure in a lot more than you should be. But once that army gets blown up, this is no longer safe. Those carriers are going to have themselves time, out of Void Ray, out of the mothership, moving into this really nice, safe position here in the back. He can move forward and cloak these guys if he needs to, but at the same time, that protects him from any stalkers. Anything else? Well, the time has come. That's what the carriers say, so this is a really obscure joke because no one uses carriers, but yeah, when carriers are told to attack things, they say, the time has come. And my opponent doesn't really understand that probably, but he still thinks it's hilarious. But he thinks it's quite funny. Yeah, in any case, just, you know, once again, I really do like it when players are nice to each other, so it's always good when that happens. Okay, the mothership moving in, stalkers moving in. This game is basically over, and everyone knows it, so this was just a really nice game, and I'm just going to ask him, see if I can cast it. Yeah, but, so yeah, this was the sort of game where I went a little outside of the normal tech path for Protoss. Protoss do really like their ball, they like their robo facilities, they like their Colossus, because oftentimes Protoss really get into a sort of race to who can get the most Colossus, who can do the most damage with those. Yeah, disconnecting from BattleBot.net for no reason, lagging perfectly for no reason. You know, real achievement service in your story. That's good. Not want to lose my replay achievement for this. Okay, but yeah, you know, just a nice little Protoss game. once again, sort of experimenting, not really experimenting anymore. I do sort of have down the timing of expansions, where if you trade armies, you really want to expand, so that's something that, like really came in handy this particular game, and my timing was a little bit off on sort of securing this expansion, but at the same time, I produced production facilities in time with my expansions. I was spending my money quite smartly up until the very end there, and once I finally went in for the kill, I didn't really spend anything, but that's all right. It's a nice casual game, so we'll see that quite well. My opponent playing very well as well, being aggressive, scouting quite well, using lots of early harass. Near the end there, he gets a little oversaturated. He doesn't manage to secure this expansion because he tries to sneak it, but at the same time, like, his Stalker Ball was very well microed. Like, he had a lot of good stuff going on there, and so just sort of a little win for the unpredictable there. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game, and I will probably be casting another TBT pretty soon here, but they do take quite a while to upload. I've lowered the frame rate on them some, but at the same time, they're pretty large files, so usually takes me like 12-24 hours because my upload speed's so slow. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this game, and there will be more. Much love to y'all. Good games.